자유천이고 숭고한 하늘빛깔 순결의 백합 산하고 빛난 정신 이어가도다 오대양 육대주와 천주까지도 억만세태 평성대 길이 빛내세 평화천이고 순정의 기쁨이 떠 천년한 날에 영생의 이상향을 나타내도다 오대양 육대주와 천주까지도 억만세태 평성대 길이 빛내세 통일천이고 사계절 휘날리는 천일국 깃발 천지인 참부모님 소망하도다 오대양 육대주와 천주까지도 억만세태 평성대 길이 빛내세 행복천이고
Today is the second day of the 6th month in the 9th year of Channel Group, July 11, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 천지인 천부모님께 경배. 바로 Let us recite 가중맹세.
가정맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상천국과 천상천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, President LA, for leading our Kyungbe and family pledge. Let us start our day by reporting to heaven. And to do it for us, let us welcome the regional leader and HTM coordinator of Region 7, Chunbu Cesar David Juanillo.
Let us pray. Good morning, our most beloved Heavenly Father, and our victorious true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. First of all, we express our gratitude to you, loving Heavenly Father, for all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us, especially for life to each one of us. We pray, Heavenly Parent, to our true Mother, protection, good health, life, all the leaders, blessed families, and brothers and sisters throughout the world. As we begin this day, Heavenly Parent, we invite you to dwell in our hearts, mind, and our body, to absorb and understand your heart through your mouthpiece this morning, devotion to our national leader, Reverend Mayor Abinadab, continuously guided us, nurturing us, so that we can be attuned to advance your providence. We contribute for the sake of realization of China, especially for the reunification of North and South Korea and for the establishment of the Union. And we pray, Heavenly Parent, through this daily morning devotion, we can inspire each other and be more motivated so that we can be able, Heavenly Parent, to give you joy and happiness. And once again, thank you so much, beloved Heavenly Parent, for everything, for your love and guidance, all the blessings. We all put this together and I report in our name, Cesar and Virginia, and from the blessed family. Amen.
Let us all offer our unison prayer. Adieu. Let us all offer our gratitudes and greetings to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Thank you and good morning, Heavenly Parents and True Parents, for a blessed Sunday. By the way, let me first express my gratitude to Reverend Juanilio for the sincere prayer report and to everyone for offering their prayer reports. I'm all sure your sincere prayer has been sent to Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Let me first recognize the presence of our Vice President for Asia Pacific too, Reverend Dr. Julius Malignum and Reverend Ron Sudusta, our National President, Reverend L.A., to all our leaders, blessed families, blessed children, brothers and sisters in the Zoom channel, as well as to those who are participating in our YouTube link or FB link. Have a blessed and glorious Sunday to all. Let us all learn, reflect, and lift our spirit together. I am Mariflor Gabaran, your MC for today's morning devotion, representing the Heavenly Tribal Messiah Department. To continue, may I request our National Secretary, Ms. Rose Tormes, for today's Honduki reading from the Mother of Peace book.
Okay, good morning, Heavenly Father and friends. Good morning, leaders, brothers and sisters. Our reading for today is from the book of Mothers of Peace, a murmur by Dr. Hakjan Moon. Chapter 5, The Emblem of the Kingdom of Heaven, continuation. The dancers quickly packed their bags. Reaching London requires that they change planes several times. At the Royal Variety performance at the London Palladium, held for the Queen Elizabeth II in 1971, among all the outstanding performers, these beautiful girls from the Republic of Korea were a bright light. Their cute yet dynamic and colorful dances brought several standing ovations. The event was highlighted in the newspaper and on television the next day. In the mind of the British people, Korean was no longer a cultural backwater, but rather a nation with a variant artistic tradition. The lovely voices of the little region of Korea have now been heard in more than 80 nations. They have toured 5 continents and performed over 7,000 times, including at Kennedy Center for the for Arts in 1971 and the United Nations General Assembly in 1973. They have appeared on televisions more than 800 times and have met many presidents and prime ministers. They performed for the bicentennial celebration of America's independence and the 10th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between China and South Korea. They have toured Japan, the United States, Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. Everywhere they have gone, they have received praise and applause. In the spring of 1990, they performed in Moscow, in the Soviet Union, and melted the heart of the communist leaders. In May 1998, their performance in Pyongyang, North Korea, contributed to effort for the reconciliation between North and South Korea. Among the most meaningful of the Little Angels tours was when they visited each of the 22 nations that participated in United Nations response during the Korean War. In 2010, to mark the 60th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War, we sent the Little Angels to perform for the war veterans of the 22 nations that had sent troops or humanitarian and medical aid. It was among the most meaningful of the Little Angels tours. Over the period of 3 years, they visited each nation offering a performance of gratitude in honor of the veterans. We in the Korea had received extraordinary assistance from this nation in our hour of need, and we declared that it was time to give something back. Those whom we meet still remembered Korean vividly, and many said they had never ceased loving our country. Some Korean and home criticized the tour because we were a private group and did not officially represent the government, but we represented the heart of Korean people, as well as God's heart. In every country, war veterans proudly came on stage in our performance wearing their faded uniforms and showcase their medals. This bring up one uplifting story. Ethiopia and the Republic of South Africa were the two African nations that sent troops. In the 1980s, when the communists took power in the Ethiopia, they displaced all the Korean War veterans to a camp on the outskirts of Addis Ababa. In reality, that place was like a concentration camp. The veterans shared the painful memories of how the regime had persecuted them, and they had to sell their medals to provide for their families. When they saw the little angels, they were moved to tears as they realized that poor, rage divided nation of Korea was now a developed nation ready to thank them. The happy ending in that the Little Angels concert brought the veterans fight to attention of the present government, which is now making up the past mistreatment. At the tour's concert of Washington, D.C., Korean War veterans in their intents wept when the Little Angels sang Arirang and God Bless America. In Copenhagen, Denmark, Princess Benedicte joined some 300 veterans of the war effort to watch the performance. After the warm welcome of Nepalese students and citizens upon the arrival of Kathmandu, the Little Angels performed brilliantly at the inauguration of the International Association of Parliamentarians of Peace, an event that took place in 2016. The Nepalese were deeply moved by the concert held at the Presidential Palace as well as in other performance halls, and their media gave the Little Angels high praise. The Angels are representative who are answered God's call. They are guardians, angels spreading peace worldwide. A child alone may not make much impact, but when a group of children came together and sing with pure heart, their voices can melt the heart and dispel war and conflict. People often think that politics move the world, but it is not the case. It is a culture and art that moves the world. It is affection, not the reason, that touches people in their innermost being. When heart become a receptive, the logic and the political regime can change. Have a
Thank you, Rose, for that very artistic way of reading. From it, we learn that if do something in order to move the heart of the people that all have a pure heart and gratitude heart, like the little angels. Our life of gratitude is a life of happiness and contentment. And so, to give us his 10 points of gratitude, let us all welcome one of the NCR district leader and HCM Education Committee head, Pastor Ernesto P. Ilano.
Good morning, everyone. So, isang mapagpalang araw po sa bawat isa sa atin. So, I would like to share my 10 points of gratitude. First, I'm thankful to our heavenly parents and true parents for the new life, for the extension of our life, and for the guidance and protection every day. Second, I'm thankful and grateful for the good health of our children, because mostly our children before the pandemic, they're always be in the clinic, but this time, so our kids is very healthy. Third, I'm thankful and grateful for my spiritual parent, mother, because of her I meet true parents and I receive blessing from our true parents. So I'm so thankful to true parents because I meet true parents, and really it's truly that true parents is my Messiah, because when I meet the movement, when I meet true parents, I really saved my life, because that on that time, because if I could not meet the movement, I don't know what happened to my life. So I'm so thankful I saved my life, because if I'm not meet the movement, maybe I'm already in jail or maybe in cemetery, because at the time when I was invited, that's the time I will start involved in drugs. But so I say I'm really thankful because my spiritual mother saved me, and also because of our true parents. Number 5, I'm grateful of our national leaders for his heart devotion, every day giving internal guidance that could really strengthen our faith, and we could always renew our determination that how we can really support our true mother for the restoration of this Channel nation. Number 6, I would like to give thanks to all Quezon City Blessed family who support on the pandemic time. They could really contribute so that we could really reach out all HTM Blessed couple, and also to all our brothers and sisters, especially in the
Recording in
Quiapo Center.
progress.
They really support a lot. So because of them, I could really reach out around 100 plus HTM couple to give some even small support that can really help for them. Number 7, I am so thankful for our HGLTP educators for their heart, for their dedication to really do their best, that how we could really follow up all the blessed couple in Quezon City. So I'm so thankful and grateful to our elders, to our Asia HTM Director, Reverend Jaime Obergara and Ate Shirley. Because of them, I could really finish my my 430 couples. Because of them, they really helped me a lot to collect the couples from different tribes, so that I could really complete my 430. And I'm so thankful and grateful for their guidance and their dedication, especially in HTM. They really do their best how to also encourage all our blessed family to be Chonbo couples. So I'm so thankful and grateful also for this virtual platform, because of this we can really feel the one family under God. Even we are very far, even some of our blessed family, even we could not meet them personally, but because of this platform, I could really see even the elders, even in the other country. So thank you so much for this virtual platform. So I'm thankful also for all our leaders who are working hard, guiding us, and to all our brothers and sisters that they could really unite with our leaders, trying to do our best how to really contribute and support for the national restoration, that how we can really make this nation to become a substantial Chonelgok nation. And last, I'm thankful for this opportunity that I could really share my 10 points of appreciation. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Pastor Irano, our Chunbo Ernesto, for your heartfelt 10 points of gratitude that you shared to us today. Let us appreciate him to our virtual round of applause. At this juncture, I am sure we'll be hearing a very heart-moving song that can help lifting up our spirit. Let us all welcome, with a virtual sounding applause, the one of our HLTP educators in Region 4A, Mr. Ariel Dayag. Wow. Thank you very much, Brother Ariel, for the very heartfelt offering song. Our heart had been lifted up And we miss a lot our heavenly parents and true parents for their wonderful and heart of living for the sake of others. And now, let us all prepare our mind and spirit with open hearts to receive the guidance from our loving heavenly parents and true parents that will be conveyed to us by our young but hardworking, passionate, and very humble National President, Reverend Leo Angelo T. Halog. Let us all welcome him with a virtual round of applause.
Thank you very much to our Regional Director of HTM in Region 4A, and also the wife of our Regional Leader, Region 4A, our Mrs. Mariflor Gabaran. Good morning po. I would like to greet our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Good morning, our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. To all our beloved Chonbu families, the Central families, and brothers and sisters, all our leaders, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Happy Sunday to everyone. Let us greet each other. Today is another Sunday, very special day for our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. So nice to see you po in our National Morning Devotion. Today is our 31st day of our 40 days. So malapit na po ulit nating makumpleto ang 40 days, pang-apat na with our morning devotion together. So I'm really happy to join together with all of you every morning po. This is really very good opportunity and great blessing po for all of us to study and learn through parents' teaching. So this morning I will be sharing po sa inyo. I would like also to appreciate our brothers and sisters today, especially the wonderful song shared to us by our brother Ariel. Actually, he's a very good singer. He's now focused in taking care the tribe in Talim Island, brother Ariel, and also the 10 points of gratitude, very inspiring sharing of our Pastor Ernie Ilano. Maraming salamat po, Pastor Ernie. This morning, I will be sharing with you today I'm checking what to really share with you, and then I find this topic today entitled Spiritual Children. So I would like to share the value and importance of having spiritual children, especially this time. We have many young couples, young brothers and sisters. Maybe we couldn't really understand deeply the value of spiritual children. Now we have some situations that they want to start family, but they cannot start family because they don't have spiritual children. Now we are like the Blessed Family Department. We are now strict about this one, that if they don't have spiritual children, they cannot start family. So now we can understand why it is important to have spiritual children in our life. So in the early days, I know it was very emphasized very clearly. It was clearly emphasized in the early days the importance of having spiritual children, and then that time really very strict. You cannot really receive the blessing if you don't have spiritual children. But because now, because of the foundation that was laid already, receiving the blessing became so easy. Even young members, sometimes just 6 months or 1 year in our movement, already they have the opportunity. But still, we have to understand that we need to have spiritual children. We need to raise up spiritual children. So let's study today from the guidance of our true parents. Why is it important to have spiritual children? True Father said, you have to reclaim your family. You have to reclaim your family. In order to do that, find 3 spiritual children, and then with those sons and daughters, form a 4-position foundation. After forming this external spiritual 4-position foundation, Your spiritual children have to support your physical sons and daughters, your direct lineage. What do these three spiritual children represent? They correspond to the three archangels in the spirit world. The three archangels attended Adam and Eve from the time they were created. So, we all wanted to, build good families, ideal families. Pero to really make, ideal family, sabi ni Father, to reclaim your family, you need to find three spiritual children. And then, with those sons and daughters, form a four-position foundation. So, ito yung pinakauna pala for us. Of course, we are desiring, I want to build good family. Our mind is just focused there. But una, you need to form four-position foundation muna, centering on your spiritual children. Father said, after forming this external spiritual four-position foundation, your spiritual children have to support your physical sons and daughters, your direct lineage. So, sila yung magiging, foundation natin, and then they will be the ones that will going to help us to really take care also of our physical children later on. Kaya nga, now we can see many of our young couples also hindi masyadong na-emphasize katulad before yung value ng having three spiritual children. But now, with this guidance of Father, we have to really think about this one. Yung mga wala pa talagang established na three, you need to, work hard to really make spiritual children at least three, minimum. Of course, ngayon sa mga HTM, meron na tayo mga chonbo. Actually, not only three, yung 43 couples natin, minimum, we need to really raise them up. Sila talaga yung not only to support our families, but really to perfect our character. Kaya, very important talaga to really raise up our spiritual children. So, minimum, especially before we receive the blessing, dapat meron tayo at least tatlo before receiving the blessing. But now, many brothers and sisters could receive the blessing na even without any spiritual children. And then, now they cannot start family kasi wala pa silang spiritual children. That's why this is now the time for us to really understand the value. Actually, if you could really raise up spiritual children, then it will be easier for you later on when you start your family. And then when you have your children, especially if you are in the public, if you are having or taking public position, then even though you focus on mission mo, then you have your spiritual children that can support you, that will help raise up your physical children. So what do these three spiritual children represent? Father said, they correspond to the three archangels in the spirit world. The three archangels attended Adam and Eve from the time they were created. Why God created three archangels? Their main mission was to really take care of Adam and Eve. So tayo rin ngayon, why we need three? This corresponds, sabi ni Father, to the three archangels in the spiritual world. That's why each one of us, we need to really have our three spiritual children. Of course, marami sa atin in the beginning, pero hindi kasi nabuhay, nawala, marami, di ba? They couldn't, continue. But you need to continue. That's why we need to nurture and really raise them up until also they themselves can receive the blessing, right? That will become, help them become stable kapag hindi sila ma-bless them. But of course, unang-una tayo, at least we need to have, bago tayo mag-receive ng blessing, this is the pinakamagandang foundation natin to receive the blessing. Kaya nga for some young brothers and sisters then, this is really important, especially, not only that you need this to start family, but lalo na those who can make before the blessing, this is the most important, mas maging stable ang life natin. If we have spiritual children, right? True Father said, you absolutely need spiritual children. After you are blessed, your spiritual children should attend your children from the time they are in the womb. Here on earth, they are restoring through indemnity the standard of cooperation that the archangels should have maintained. This should have begun before Adam was created and continued through his birth, maturation and blessing in holy matrimony. Therefore, you absolutely need spiritual children. So, talagang Father said, you absolutely need spiritual children. So after you are blessed, your spiritual children should attend your children from the time they are in the womb. Even Father said, from the time they are in the womb. Later on, once you start your family, and then yung spiritual children nyo, they need to really attend you, your family, and then attend your children from the time they are in the womb. right? So, it's really very important talaga when I'm reading this, really how important, for this time, and then for many, we didn't really emphasize so much na kasi ito eh. But actually, it's really, really important. In the beginning, it was really emphasized so much, right? So, here on earth, Father said they are restoring through indemnity the standard of cooperation that the archangels should have maintained. So this should have begun before Adam was created and continued through his birth, maturation, and blessing in holy matrimony. Actually, the three archangels, they were created even before Adam and Eve. Already God prepared these people to raise them up, take care of them, right? So tayo, especially before we receive the blessing, that is the best part when we raise up our children. Kaya nga, really, at least now we are reminded how really important magkaroon ng tatlong spiritual children, especially before receiving the blessing. Kasi really, in the past, not much emphasized na kasi talaga rin ito. And then, hindi na ganun ka-strict that time, but now we are going back doon. Now you cannot start family without, having 3 spiritual children. And then, actually, we can see the effect. Yung mga may maraming spiritual children, they have very stable life of faith. Yung mga brothers and sisters na palaging nagsusway, they're not stable. These people, they don't have even one spiritual child. Or they couldn't, even they didn't experience, really raising up or really guiding someone in their life. But if you have the experience of really guiding people, really raising them up, you will not, sway in your life of faith easily. You will maintain, you will be more stable. That's why we can see, nakikita natin ngayon, mga very successful, blessed families, mga elders natin, right? Brothers and sisters, sino yung mga successful? They are the ones who has spiritual children, who have raised many people in their life. Sila yung stable ang life of faith nila ngayon, right? That's why it's really, really important. And then, not only that, but later on also, they will be helping us, for our family. Sila yung magti-take care sa ating mga physical children. That's why it's really important to have spiritual children. So absolutely, sabi ni Father, kaya ngayon, for those who doesn't have really any spiritual children yet, not only that this will be condition for you to start family, but this will really help you to strengthen also your life of faith, right? And be able to really help you later on in your own family, especially if you are taking public mission. It's not easy actually doing public mission, only with your family. No one is helping you, no one is taking care of the children. It's really not easy actually to do public mission. But if you have your spiritual children, right, people you have raised, then it will be easier for you, and then you can focus also in doing your mission. Father said, in order to become a parent, you need to receive the blessing. In order to become a parent, you have to receive the blessing. And in order to establish a family, you have to restore Cain. In order to be resurrected as an individual, you have to inspire Cain to surrender to you. Adam is in the position of the parent. But in order for God to be released from his grief, and in order for Adam himself to be redeemed, Cain must surrender. By the principle, in the course of indemnity, restoration occurs only if you restore Cain and Abel, with your spiritual children in the position of the eldest son and your children in the position of Abel. If you don't do that, you cannot rise to the position of true parent. It is a fundamental rule that to establish the position of true parent, Cain and Abel have to be restored. Cain must be surrendered to Abel. So it's really important not only to have our own children. That's why it's really important, sabi ni Father, to have our spiritual children. They are standing in the position of Cain. So in order to establish a family, you have to restore Cain, sabi ni Father. So that's why sometimes we are just focused on how to build our own ideal family. But actually to really make that, we have to first restore Cain. Ibig sabihin, we have to have spiritual children muna. So in order to be resurrected as an individual, you have to inspire Cain to surrender to you. So when you are, witnessing, when you are restoring, your Cain or having spiritual children, not only restoring them, but Father said that is also for your own resurrection. Kaya nga kapag wala tayong spiritual children, why we are doing witnessing? What is the purpose of witnessing? To give life, right? And then once you give life, you also gain life. That's why without witnessing, without having spiritual children, you cannot also be resurrected. Kaya napakahalaga na magkaroon ng spiritual children. That's why this time, why again, Father is reminding us today. That's why it's really important before the blessing, especially for young brothers and sisters, napakahalaga talaga na magkaroon ng spiritual children. Right? So Adam is in the position of the parent, but in order for God to be released from his grief, and in order for Adam himself to be redeemed, Cain must surrender. So that's why to, regain our position, to really advance also, kailangan talaga natin na we need to win Cain. Actually, now in our era, madali na ngayon dahil sa mga foundations. Even just your relatives, your own relatives, they can become your spiritual children. Lahat ng mga neighbor natin, lahat, anywhere, anyone, right? Not necessarily na you need to do house to house to do for young brothers and sisters. Just your friends, your relatives, you can invite them. They can become your spiritual children. Father said, by the principle in the course of indemnity, restoration occurs only if you restore Cain and Abel, with your spiritual children in the position of the eldest son and your children in the position of Abel. If you don't do that, you cannot rise to the position of true parents. So without having, bringing Cain represents your spiritual children and then your own children. Kapag wala raw itong dalawang ito, sabi ni Father, you cannot rise to the position of true parent. So that's why raising your Cain, yung mga spiritual children nyo, and then also raising your own children. These two both need to come together in order for you to restore or raise in the position of becoming true parent. We cannot become true parent kapag wala tayong spiritual children without our own children. These two needs to come in order for us to become true parent. It is a fundamental rule that to establish the position of true parent, Cain and Abel have to be restored. Cain must surrender to Abel. So Cain and Abel must be restored. And then Cain must surrender to Abel. So, mga spiritual children natin, they need to attend our children. Right? They need to attend our children. They need to take care of our children. So, this is the only way for us to come to the position of becoming true parent. Kasi lahat tayo kailangan nating maging true parent. Not only our true parents. We need to become true parents ourselves. So, spiritual children necessary. And then our own children. They need to become one. And then, Cain, our spiritual children, needs to attend our own children. Then that's the time that we can become true parent. Aju, it's very clear. Kaya importante talaga. Kaya ngayon, this time, true parents is again reminding us. So those who doesn't have really spiritual children yet, so this is a great opportunity for you. So for those who are preparing for the blessing, for those who are preparing to start family, right? Of course, later on, magta-tribal Messiah na kayo, more than this 3, but this will be your foundation. This will be your foundation. Later on, you will going to have not only 3, you will going to have 430 couples, 430 families. So talagang ito na yung magpa-perfect sa atin once we raise this up, mga spiritual children natin. Right? But of course, the blessing kasi ginagawa natin sa HTM, hindi naman pa yun, immediately nag-blessing lang tayo. But to really raise them up, yun yung pinakakandoon later on, pinaka-key. Kaya ngayon, we are starting with our 43. We have our 430 couples na, mga chonbo natin, mga HTM victors natin, but we couldn't really raise up pa. Meron na ba tayong 3 out of our 430? Wala pa. Mostly, wala pa talaga yung naging core, na naging 3 core, na maging katulad dapat natin ng life of faith din, right? Sa ating 430 couples. So, we're starting from 3, 12, and then now focusing with our 43. This will really make us really perfect being. That's why raising up, our spiritual children. This is truly important in our own life of faith, in our own resurrection, and in order for us to be able to stand in the position of true parent. Napakahalaga talaga. Not only our own children. So that's why we cannot just think about our own children, physical children. Also, our spiritual children standing in the position of Cain, and then they need to become one with our children. Aju, this is the way that will going to bring us to stand in the position of true parent. Father said, we must not burden our children with heavy indemnity. Having spiritual children is the highest ideal for which thousands of generations of religious people have hope. Even Jesus could not reach that. During his final prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane, everyone rejected and opposed him. But we have built a victorious family in the realm of resurrection, a family honored by the cosmos. It is a blessed family of that value. It is your responsibility as blessed couples to convey the proper tradition to your children. This is the family responsibility. We must not burden our children with heavy indemnity. So that's why Father is saying dito, having spiritual children is the highest ideal for which thousands of generations of religious people have hope. Father even said that Jesus couldn't do that, couldn't reach that. In his final prayer, when in the Garden of Gethsemane, everyone rejected and opposed Jesus. But tayo, sabi ni Father, we have built a victorious family in the realm of resurrection, a family honored by the cosmos. It is a blessed family of that value. It is your responsibility as blessed couples to convey the proper tradition to your children. This is the family responsibility. So we must not burden our children with heavy indemnity. Kaya in our time today, we need to do everything kasi nga we shouldn't burden na yung mga anak natin with heavy indemnity. Anyway, already the indemnity era has passed, right? Tapos na. And then already we have, established our families, right? So we have to really make sure, sabi ni Father, that we will not burden anymore our children. We have to convey to them the proper tradition. Sabi ni Father, we need to convey the proper tradition to our children. Kaya nga ang mga children din natin, our second, third generation, they need also to, to do witnessing. They need also to have their own spiritual children, right? At mga anak natin. So anyway, completing everything in our time, this time so that our children later on will not going to be burdened anymore with heavy indemnity, so that their life will be easier. Anyway, we are now really living in this era of Chanilguk. We are truly grateful to our true parents, right? But still to, develop yung heart talaga natin and really become more stable, we really need to also help our children to also raise up, their own spiritual children. This is really the highest, sabi ni Father. Having spiritual children is the highest ideal for which thousands of generations of religious people have hope. Those who came before us, those who have gone to the spiritual world, this is also their hope. Raising. Kaya nga, different denominations, what are they doing? Witnessing, actually. They're witnessing, sharing the word. This is the highest hope of all denominations, of all religious leaders, especially those who have gone to the spiritual world. This is their wish, right? Kaya nga tayo now, we are given this opportunity. We are the most fortunate people. We could live in this time, especially with our beloved true parents now. So sharing the word, we could raise people just by sharing, witnessing. This is the essence of our life, sharing the word continuously. And then as we share the word, people who are inspired, then we can raise them up. They become our spiritual children, right? That's why this is our responsibility. We have to convey the proper tradition to our children, Father said, so that they will be living, really better life in the future. So Father said, why do we need these spiritual children? So we need them in order to find the three archangels, to find Adam's three sons, and to find Cain, the elder brothers of Satan's world. It is in order to find the Old Testament age, the New Testament age, and the completed Testament age. The Old Testament age represents the people. The New Testament age represents the nation, and the completed Testament age represents the world. So actually, since we are in the course of restoration, these three spiritual children, this represents, sabi ni Father, the three archangels, and then the three sons of Adam, and then also the three elder brothers of Satan's world. It also represents the Old, the New, and the completed Testament age. So that's why we need the three, restoring all these things. It represents our three spiritual children. Kaya nga kailangan talaga natin, this is like our basic foundation as we enter in this course of restoration. Not only thinking, how to make my own family, how to restore my own family. Not only that, but, really it represents these things. That's why it's important talaga yung three spiritual children natin. Right? So as we are going through this course of restoration, this will really make us, advance further when we have these three spiritual children. And then we are restoring even the Old, the New, and then the completed Testament age. Right? So, which represents the whole world. Sabi ni Father, so it's really important. So Father said the redemption of Canaan is the last gate. The Old Testament age was the period of the redemption of Canaan by the 600,000 people of Israel. Jesus took the redemption of Canaan from the national to the world level. And the Unification Church is taking the redemption of Canaan from the world to the cosmic level. The redemption of Canaan is the last gate. The expression of 3 stages has this meaning. That's why restoring our 3 spiritual children, it represents, the restoration also of the Old Testament, New Testament, and the completed Testament age. Father is explaining here that in the time of Jesus, Jesus took the redemption of Canaan from the national to the world level. So, sabi ni Father, the redemption of Canaan is the last gate. So in the time of Jesus, it was elevated, to the national, from national to the world level. Nung time na nila true parents, and they started the Unification Church, then it was elevated from the world level to the cosmic level. It opens the way, not only in the physical world, but even in the spiritual world. So true parents already, they have reached, the last, dito na sa final stage. Which is, now we are now in the final stage. So true parents have elevated to the cosmic level. So the expression of 3 stages has this meaning. So all these things represents then our, having our own 3 spiritual children. And then in the time of true parents, they open the way from the world level to the cosmic level, really opening the completion of restoration in the time of true parents. So that's why this is the value and meaning of, also having our own spiritual children. So Father said, from now on, you should raise up such young people. You eat what you want to eat, wear what you want to wear, and do what you want to do. But based upon those conditions, you will be accused. You couples in the prime of life have not been able to raise young people loyal to God. You should be ashamed before God. From now on, you should raise up such young people. We should be very grateful that in the Unification Church, we have what we call spiritual children. Your spiritual sons and daughters save your couples in the prime of your life. It is for this reason that I tell you to keep going until your bone marrow melts. When you bring tears of hope to the eyes of the young people, on the foundation of that hope, the Messiah can come. Yeah, really, it's important. Why it's really important to really have spiritual children, not only having spiritual children, but really raising up young people. Sabi ni Father, from now on, you should raise up such young people. Sabi ni Father, your couples in the prime of your life have not been able to raise young people loyal to God. So, kailangan daw nating mag-raise up ng mga kabataan, young people that are loyal to God. Sabi ni Father, from now on, you should raise up such young people. So we have to be very grateful, sabi ni Father, because of our movement, because of the Unification Church. Then we have this concept of having what we call spiritual children. So your spiritual sons and daughters save your couples in the prime of your life. So ang mga spiritual children natin, people that we have raised up, they are the ones who have saved our couples, sabi ni Father. So it is for this reason that I tell you to keep going until your bone marrow melts. When you bring tears of hope to the eyes of the young people, on the foundation of that hope, the Messiah can come. So now we have really great opportunities to have really a lot of spiritual children. The foundation that we have now is already unimaginable. We are doing, now we are also doing the Regional Youth Forum again. Our 6th Regional Youth Forum centering on Region 4B. So after this Regional Youth Forum, thousands of people are attending. Right? Actually, already there are so many ways for us to be able to tap and reach out young people. And these are not only ordinary young people, they are youth leaders. Can you imagine if we can really raise up really young people that can really give their life later on for Heavenly Parent, for true parents? What is greater than this? If we can really raise up young people. Now we can see many young brothers and sisters now are taking responsibility, right? Then how proud are their spiritual parents? We have many now. We could raise up. They come from IPLC ngayon, many young people. Ang dami na nila, nagtitake na ng responsibility. Like us, we are also very young. So how proud our spiritual parents are. Because of you, because of the spiritual parents. Right? Now, young people now are, taking responsibility. And then they are really now giving even their life for the providence for true parents. How great the spiritual parents are. Right? If nakita mo na ngayon mga leader na yung mga spiritual children natin. Right? So how proud we are. Sabi ni Father dito, when you bring tears of hope to the eyes of the young people, on the foundation of that hope, the Messiah can come. So based on this foundation, right? So that's why in the beginning, before receiving the blessing, actually, how can the Messiah come? How can you receive the Messiah? Foundation of faith, foundation of substance. That's why having spiritual children is one of the greatest, way and really foundation for the Messiah to come, right? Without really having spiritual children, kaya napakahalaga. So now for our young couples also. So not only, we are preparing to receive the blessing, not only preparing externally, preparing the fund you need, not only that, but most importantly, we need to have our spiritual children. Kailangan nyo magkaroon ng spiritual children. So ngayon, some couples, they wanted to start family. Now they cannot start family. Kaya nga, later on, not only that when you want to start family, you need to have spiritual children, but actually, even prior to the blessing, this will become your foundation. And then, really later on, once we can raise this kind of children, our spiritual children, right? And then they will going to really take our responsibility later on, how really, amazing this is for the spiritual parents. Kaya nga, sabi ni Father, this time, from now on, you should raise up such young people that can really, be willing even to give their life for true parents. Ngayon, nakikita na natin, more and more young people. And then we have many ways for our young people to come in. We have our schools, we have IPLC, or kung ano-ano mga training program, kung saan sila papasok, right? Ngayon, dati nung in the beginning, you will witness, and then ikaw mismo mag-nurture sa kanila directly. Kasi nga, wala pa masyado tayong pandati. Ngayon, we have already many avenues. Of course, continuously, as a spiritual parent, we need to guide them, we need to raise them up. But now we have many also foundations. Ang dami na nating foundation. Not only you, many people can help raise them up. We have many training programs. We have school na pwede nilang pasukan, right? So really, this is now the time for us to really raise up really loyal young people. Can become become our pride, and then become pride of our heavenly parent and true parents. Young people that can really take ownership. Kaya nga, when we were in Nepal, True Mother is reminding us again, lalo na yung CARP. Sabi niya, we need to revive CARP. And then we need to tap that, yung mga top universities, sabi ni True Mother, doon daw in the Philippines. We couldn't really have, last time sa UP Los Baños, meron tayong CARP doon. But really, in top universities, now we have many young people. Second generation, they need to enter sa mga top universities then. Right? Like sa Ateneo, sa Lasal, sa UP, itong mga schools na to, we have to really think about this one. Of course, our IAYSP ngayon and then our CARP, we have to really think about this, especially after pandemic. Even now, we need to lay foundation, prepare for this. Really, young people are really the key talaga to completely, restore our nation. Napakahalaga. That's why we have to really raise up many young people ngayon. We have the Regional Youth Forum, mga leaders na, top leaders of our nation, the youth leaders of our nation, we are educating now. But this is just first step. Mag-attend sila ng Regional Youth Forum. So after that, then mag-target na tayo doon. We can have a lot of spiritual children. Because of this opening ngayon, right? So we can have many spiritual children in different regions now. So mga tapos na. So you can tap already the SK presidents, lahat ng SK Federation presidents sa region nyo, sa probinsya nyo, mga youth development officers, sa government. Because of this Regional Youth Forum, it opens the way. Nag-attend po lahat ng mga leaders ng kabataan sa inyong mga lugar, yung mga natapos na. Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 4A, Region 7, tapos ngayon Region 4B na po kami, pang-anim na region. So sa mga nabanggit ko na region, lahat po ng leaders ng kabataan sa lugar nyo, nag-attend po ng Regional Youth Forum natin. So please take this opportunity. Mga blessed families natin na nandoon sa mga different regions, mga brothers and sisters natin na nasa different regions. Can you imagine you will going to have youth leaders na mga spiritual children, right? If these people can take responsibility, how great it is, right? And then you will going to, itong mga to mismo, they will going to take responsibility later on. That's why this is really great opportunity for us, really amazing blessing, right? Kaya ngayon pa lang po sa mga nabanggit ko na region, the door is widely open in your areas. Kaya puntahan po natin yung lahat ng mga SK presidents sa ating area, lahat ng mga youth development officers sa ating mga municipalities, sa ating mga cities. Nag-attend na po yan sila ng Regional Youth Forum. So already there is foundation. So witnessan na po natin sila, then we raise them up to become our spiritual children. Aju. So this is the greatest thing that can really give. Also the greatest joy to our Heavenly Parent and true parents, raising up loyal, mga patriot na mga kabataan. Aju, this will really become the ones that will complete, the providence after we really raise up mga kabataan natin that will going to take responsibility. We don't worry anymore about the future. Aju. So really having spiritual children is the most important talaga, napakahalaga talaga sa life natin to have spiritual children. So let's continue to witness, especially young people that can really take ownership for the providence. Aju. And then with our own children and then our kin children, mga spiritual children, they need to become one. And then through this, our spiritual children and our own children, when they become one, and then the spiritual children take care of our own children while they are young. Sila rin tutulong sa pag-raise up sa atin. So once we complete these two, then we can rise up to the position of becoming true parent. Aju? So that is the way. That is the only way to become true parent ourselves. So already true parents have shown us the way. So let's really work together and really invest in really raising up young people that can really take responsibility and can really make our Heavenly Parent and true parents proud of. So ngayon sa mga wala pang spiritual children, this is now the time. Do not miss this, this time, this moment. Ngayon, nandito na lahat ng foundation, madali na lang ang witnessing ngayon. So kung wala ka pang spiritual children sa panahon ngayon, ewan ko na lang, right? So that is really, you have to really work hard and really invest your time in witnessing. Then you will surely going to have spiritual children. That is also for you, and then that is for you, for us, that one day we can become a true parent ourselves by having our spiritual children and our own children together. Aju? So once again, let's really appreciate our Heavenly Parents and true parents for this very, very important guidance again this Sunday. So thank you very much to all our blessed central families and brothers and sisters. May Heavenly Parents' love and blessings be upon you and your families. Happy Sunday to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir L.A., our President L.A., for a very profound guidance and inspiring truth that you had given to us today. That this is the words of our loving true parents. Really has artistically conveyed to us the love of our loving true parents. And through that, we could be able to apply in our life, we could be able to share to others, and we could be able to reflect on. It is true. No? It is true that in order to rise ourselves to become true parents and to establish ourselves in the position of true parents, we must have spiritual children. Meaning, raising up our spiritual children is the way for us to fulfill our heavenly tribal Messiah mission in order for us to lead, to become a Chunbu families, brothers and sisters. Right? So let's continue do our part, our best, on how we could be able to raise up our spiritual children and become an HTM victors and become a Chunbu families. And so, I could not forget his words, in order to gain life, we have to give life. Thank you once again. Let's give again a virtual round of applause to our President LA. So to move on, we'll be listening to the reflection who will represent all of us. First, let us welcome with a virtual applause the provincial leader and HCM Regional Coordinator of Region Mimaropa 4B, Reverend Joel Concepcion.
Good morning, humble parents and true parents. Good morning, our national leader and all the leaders, all Chunbu couples and all blessed families and all brothers and sisters. So magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. So I'm going to share my reflection about based on the message of our national leader. So yeah, it's really true that spiritual children is needed, very important. You know, actually, that's my experience before when I start, before I start a family. Actually, I have only one spiritual children. Actually, that these words of true parents is the law of restoration, but I don't know if I violate that law of restoration because I have only one spiritual children before I start a family. But I think not too much that violate that law of restoration. Anyway, para makabawi, we decided to do the tribal Messiah mission para makabawi man lang because actually if no spiritual children, based on my experience, the mind is just like fluctuated, yung nagpa-fluctuate parang kuryente na hindi stable. Tama yung sabi ni True Father, yung lecture ni the lecture of our national leader, that it's not stable. It's really true because for me also at that time, maybe if I don't have spiritual children, maybe I'm not become a member of Unification Movement because my mind is, of course, we are living how many years in the outside world. Our lifestyle is very different. So it's really difficult actually. But because of the spiritual, because of my one spiritual children, of course, that is the foundation. Yung ano ba, just like a magnetic, that is the spiritual magnetic force, so that yung hinihatak ka, yun nga, yung sabi ko, what I said is to be magnetic. So, that is the very important. So, and also, to have a spiritual children is also to becoming spiritually matured. So that's why very important to have a spiritual children. So to make a story short, because I start a family, just only one spiritual children. So para man lang makabawi is we decided to do a tribal Messiah. So of course, even though we do already the tribal Messiah, we already become a Chonbo couples, but it's still not enough. For me, it's still not enough because I'm just only giving the blessing for the Kain side, but my Adil side is not yet. So still, for me, it's still lacking. So I hope, because that is my determination also to restore my Abil tribe, to understand also the words of true parents, God and true parents, and through this, and I hope and my prayer that I can do to my Abil tribe, because at that time, you know, when I did not yet start a family, my, my Abel tribe, it's really, yeah, it's really a persecutor for me because I don't have anything to show them that I am victor. So yeah, but I feel this time because I have already a family, I have already wife. Of course, we have already two kids, and I feel this is really the foundation. Anyway, my feeling is to become a victors in tribal Messiah mission. We need to become a victors first in our own family because based on my experience, understanding and the reading of the words of true parents, true father become the greatest victory of true father is to establish an ideal family. So that is the greatest victory of true father. So uh, for me also is I think this time I have a strong feeling that my Abel side is I can really restore them if I start to give the blessing because my Abel tribe is in Pangasinan. So I'm doing my tribal Messiah here in island of Palawan, but this is only the Kain side, Kain tribe. So anyway, in short, in short, uh, to have an spiritual children is very important. So it's really the foundation to become successful in our life, especially most especially in our family. Because if not, I think there is also the of course, problems is always in our back. So, but if we have this foundation, a strong foundation, I think this is our weapon to really fight any kind of struggle in our life. So, I think that's all my reflection. Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone.
Nakamute po kayo, Ate Mai.
Thank you so much, Reverend Joel, for your reflection. Spiritual children for me, I think, is both the young people and our tribes that we're taking care of. They are our spiritual children. So to move on, let us have another reflection. Let us have reflection from the regional coordinator of Region 12, Sir Celso Derecho. Let's welcome him with a virtual applause.
So, good morning to our beloved national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Tihalog, to all the leaders, to all the Chumbo victors, to all the Central Blessed family, to our beloved brothers and sisters throughout our country and throughout the world who are listening. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Through the topic of our true parents conveyed to us by our national leader about spiritual children. So really, it is very important that through the guidance of a beloved true parents, as we see in the divine principle that the true essence and importance of three spiritual children is very necessary, especially before we start family. So, three spiritual children represent the three archangels, that guide especially our family, and upon start family, even in my case, I really see that how the importance of the three spiritual children, especially on how they can give spiritual protection to our physical children. Even though in my time when I become full time, really it's very difficult how I raise my spiritual children, because in the eternal guidance of the beloved true parents, it says that you put artistic connection on how you can give life to your spiritual children. And indeed, also, it is a way to, as you raise your spiritual children, like you also you want to give life by really like a parent giving birth, like a mother giving birth to a child, baby child. So that's why also now I realize that through my spiritual children, uh, especially now that we are also doing our Heavenly Tribal Messiah's mission. So also I reflect that how important, especially our spiritual children to our Heavenly Tribal Messiahship mission. And also, we have foundation, the CD Foundation, our scholar. That's why also through the young peoples from elementary up to high school, senior high school, we also give a scholarship grant. And through that also, we can witness young people that someday they can also receive blessing. So that's why when the importance or the highest ideals that awaits us, especially when we can raise the cane side. No? I know that even in our family, what we can give legacy to our next generation is to lessen the burden of indemnity that they can encounter, especially on how we can raise our spiritual children, and also on how we can mold them, give our utmost sincere heart to raise them, and someday also they can receive the blessing. So in our Heavenly Tribal Messiahship mission also, I can feel that our tribe, especially those who finish also 3D ceremony, really I can see how much is the importance on how guiding them, and also to extend of witnessing also not only the previously married couple, but also their children. That's why as our beloved true parents guidance, it's very important to raise young people, and because that is the way that we can help our beloved true parents, especially our beloved true mother, as the begotten daughter in this time period, through the Heavenly Parents Holy Community, on how we can raise young people to truly understand the value of their life. And that's why also with our family, with my beloved wife, Mama Sitsuko, with our 4 children, our Hannah, Naomi, Yuto and Quinto, we can see on them that also we relate to them also how they can also someday they can have that they can have also spiritual children, so that also the way to give life to other people is the way also to help our beloved true parents through the value of total salvation. So nobody will leave behind. That's why we are so grateful that even though there is ups and downs in our family, in our life of faith, but the most important, the spiritual children is representing the three archangel that can really guide and protect us in our family. So once again, thank you and good morning to each one of us. Magandang umaga po.
Thank you so much, Sir Celso, for your very nice and very inspiring reflection. So instead of asking the participants in the Zoom channel who can give reflection, already I receive a message and a cue that one of our Chunbo couples, one of our elders, one of our best lecturer, not just in the Philippines, but in Asia, would like also to share something to us and to give his reflection. So let's welcome our Chunbo family's Professor Joseph Navalta. Let's give him a round of applause. Unmute po, Kuya. Please unmute. Morning, Kuya Joseph. Hindi ka po namin naririnig. We cannot hear you, Sir Joseph. Baka po something is wrong with their connection. Hello, Sir Joseph. Anyway, they are still, I think, fixing their connection. Hey, Joseph. Hello, Sir Joseph. Nawala po ata sila. Sorry for that. Yeah, Joseph. So, anyways, we cannot hear anything. Anyone who would like to volunteer while waiting for Kuya Joseph? Anybody? To give his reflection. I think they really have a problem of their connection. Okay, so to give us another reflection, let us hear a reflection fresh from Japan. Let us welcome our Kuya Roy Karumba. Let's give him a round of applause.
Please unmute po.
Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Ano nangyari kay ate?
Yes, it's true. Before starting family, we need really to have at least 3 spiritual children. What Father said is, before loving Abel, you must love Cain first. Before having our own Abel children, our own children, we need to have our Cain children. And I think this applies also not only in the family level, but in tribal level. Because the principle of restoration is true from individual, family, tribe, and a worldwide level. Before loving our Abel tribe, we must love first Cain tribe, or before restoring Abel tribe, must restore Cain tribe. I came across with one of Father's speech before. He said, if you love your Abel first, your Abel children, without having your Cain children, or even your Abel tribe, without restoring or loving Cain tribe, Satan will attack your Abel tribe or your Abel children. So our spiritual children will protect our Abel children. And this is the way of restoration. So I'm so worried with our second generation who here in Japan, they started family, they joined the blessing without having spiritual children. That's why we find ways how they can have spiritual children by having their scholars in Bicol region. So just like example, my eldest son, now he's sponsoring 4 scholars in Bicol region, and every month they have part-time job and they support the scholars, and the coordinator there, the responsibility is to let them educate them and become members. So we have this kind of arrangement so that they can have spiritual children when he will receive the blessing, and when he will start family, he can have his own spiritual children. So we should find ways that our children also will have their own spiritual children. And that's my reflection today. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, Kuya Roy Karumba. I'm sure many of us had been inspired with a message and would like to share the reflection, but because of our lack of time, because we are now preparing, we will also going to prepare for our Sunday service. So let's going to end this. Before we end, let's have a closing prayer to be given to us by one of our regional HCM regional coordinator of Region 3, Reverend Wency Manabat.
Good morning to everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes po.
Okay. So let's pray. Good morning, our dear heavenly parents and victorious true parents of heaven, earth, and mankind. Father, we're so grateful once again for the new blessings of life that you have given us, the blessings of attending morning devotion. Father, every morning you are always embracing each one of us, Father, through your precious words. And this is really a great blessings every day to hear the words about your parents. We know that the words about your parents, before he received, invested a lot of sacrifices, shedding so much tears and blood, loving Father, to receive these precious words, so that our heavenly parents and true parents could be able to guide his children, family, tribe, nation, world, and even restoring the whole cosmos, loving Father. We're so much grateful, Father, for our national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Halok, loving Father, investing his heart in spreading the unchanging love of our heavenly parents and true parents to all of us, loving Father. So we pray that before we join this morning devotion, we need to really invest a lot of preparation, because before our two parents receive these words, so much tears and blood, loving Father. That's why before we really understand these words, we need incredible preparation, Father. Without preparation, we cannot understand anything, loving Father. Father, we are really grateful for this message today about witnessing spiritual children. Truly, loving Father, the only way to be happy, Father, is when we are so excited, Father, once again, in doing witnessing. But the only way to be excited, Father, in doing witnessing, Father, is to understand the heart of our heavenly parents. That our heavenly parents still crying day and night, because many of his children, Father, still committing sin, Father, different kinds of crime, sin, Father, everywhere in this world. Father, we pray that we be able to really follow the direction of our true mother, that we need to really go back to the pioneering stage, loving Father, that we need to really do a lot of John song, Father, so that we could be able to understand once again the heart of our heavenly parents, the soulful heart of heavenly parents. And through that, Father, when we understand the soulful heart of heavenly Father, we can be excited, Father, to do witnessing, Father. But the first to need to witness is ourselves. We need to really bring ourselves to Heavenly Father, to our true parents. And then when we are so inspired, Father, we can really testify our Heavenly Parents and the truth, Father, to our brothers and sisters who are longing, Father, in darkness, living in darkness. Thank you once again, loving Father, for this precious message that you have shared with us, Father, today. And we pray that we could be able to make the remaining days of this month, Father, of July, really full of excitement, Father, to do witnessing, loving Father, so that the people will come to know our heavenly parents, true parents, and they will be able to receive the blessing as well as the divine principle. Father, thank you so much, Father, for all our brothers and sisters around the world who really join this morning devotion. Thank you so much, Father. I pray this in gratitude. In our corporate's name, Winslow Manabat, and Joshua Manabat's the blessed family. Adieu. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you so much, Reverend Wency, for your very sincere and heartfelt prayer. And now let us offer our individual prayer. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's offer once again our gratitude to our loving Heavenly Parents and true parents for your continuous guidance. And everyone, thank you for all your sincere hearts and Jeong-sung in continue participating every day in this morning devotion. Let us all invest our heart in witnessing and taking care of our HTM tribes because they're all our spiritual children. So let us all have to live with a yojong heart, high spirit, and positive mind. Heavenly Parents, and bless us all. Kamsahamnida, Yorobun.
Thank you. Thank you so much po. Thank you so much, Ate Maymay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, HTM and Education Department, for hosting our morning devotion.
Sunday,
Thank you.
Happy
See
Sunday,
you
everyone.
later. Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, sige.
Good morning, Region 4A.
Good
Thank you,
morning.
Thank you, our beloved NL, and all those who share their heart. Thank you, our spiritual children. Thank you very much.